This podcast features mortgage banker Cindy Vandiver, NMLS 164102. At Stockton Mortgage, NMLS 8259, Equal Housing Lender. Views and opinions expressed are those of Ms. Vandiver and do not necessarily reflect those of Stockton Mortgage. Ms. Vandiver's information should not be considered to be legal or tax advice.
Spring is around the corner, and the predictions are it's going to continue to be a hot real estate market. And we need some more inventory here in North Georgia. I'm April Rooks with RE/MAX Center, here with my lovely co-host Cindy Vandiver with Stockton Mortgage on the From the Heart and Sold Real Estate Show on North Georgia Business RadioX today. So excited to bring a great show to you today, as always. And we were just talking before the show. We love music here. And, let's just say what it is this year and this last year, and it's going to continue to be hot, hot, hot. That was really off pitch, but
it's gonna continue for sure over 2020 right on into 2021.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You might remember that old song from back when, the ole ole. So we're gonna have some fun here today on the show talking about a hot real estate market. And I promise I'm not going to sing anymore. Maybe. So I don't know about you, but I am ready for spring.
Some shorts and some flip-flops and some 80-degree weather.
Absolutely. And, well, Cindy just got back from some great warm.
I did. Went down to North Palm. It was fabulous. Florida
weather. Yeah, we're all a little jealous here today. But we have had a little bit of warm weather here, and we're very excited to see some sunshine and for things to warm up. And of course, spring always brings a time where we're getting into spring cleaning. And we're looking at, getting ready to put our homes on the market. So this is where things start to pick up. And so we're going to talk today, give you some tips for helping to getting your home ready to go on the market. And it's a great time because we still have, low interest rates and a lot of buyers looking for homes.
Yes, we have so many people sitting and looking and trying to buy their home. And they go and by the time they get there to even see the house, it's already under contract. So there's a lot of things that people can do up front to kind of minimize that exposure and maybe be one of the ones on the top end of the offer consideration so they can buy that house or sell their house.
Absolutely. And so whenever, the market changes, and right now we've really been at the top of the seller's market, and I think that we're going to start to see it changed somewhat during this year, and we'll have more homes that are coming on to the market again. And so when that happens, then you do have more competition, and you want to have your home ready so that it can stand out above the other homes that are on the market.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we're going to talk today about is, getting ready for the spring, for the summer, and so that you can make the right decisions for your home. And what I run into is people asking me, April, what do I do to really get it ready to sell, but also to put the right amount into it so that I can get the value out? Because you don't want to,
you don't want to spend $30,000 and get $10,000, right?
Absolutely. So you want to look at what is most important. And so when you're making those home renovations or any updates, you want to align that with your future goals. So if your goal is to stay in your home for another 2 months and then sell it, well, then you need to see what you're going to get the best value or your return on your investment there.
Right.
Or if you think, well, I'm going to make these updates and, we'll stay here for 5+ years, you might want to, look at your goals and set them a little bit differently based on the updates that you want to make.
Right.
And the time period in which you want to make those. But for those who are ready and say, hey, I want to get it on the market, well, let's look at some of that. And so we'll just, kind of jump right in and say that the first thing that I think is very important is not something that's so much cosmetic that people look at first, usually, of like, oh, well, I need to put new flooring in, or I need to update my cabinets or things like that. The first thing that you should consider is getting a pre-inspection.
I 100% agree, because so many contracts fall through because once the buyers do their inspections, and things pop up that the sellers weren't even aware of.
Yes. And so making that pre-inspection is actually getting the home inspector out, so that, normally you have that due diligence period when someone's purchasing the home, and then they have the home inspector come and they find all the things wrong with the house.
Right.
And then, as a seller, you're sweating it like, oh my gosh, I hope my air conditioning unit's okay. Or, or I hope they don't find so many things. So, that's a scary time. And then, like you said, a lot of deals fall through because you're not prepared for what's coming. And, the buyers end up really concerned sometimes with things that may not even be a huge issue. They just can look like that maybe on the surface.
Right. I had one inspection come back where there was a exterior wall that was actually leaning out and had come separated from the roof line. And that was a major concern for the buyers, obviously.
Sure. And, but again, it could have been a somewhat easy repair. I know that for me, sometimes I even look at things and I go, whoa, and then my husband, who's a contractor, he goes, oh, that's easy.
That's a piece of cake.
Yeah. He's like that, that wouldn't be much at all. And so, again, those are just, something important to consider. So you can just go ahead and jump just 10 steps ahead with getting a pre-inspection done, where that home inspector can come out and look and make sure there are no major concerns. So there's no structural issues or, your HVAC system with appliances, plumbing, or, repairs, leaks. And then, they'll point out some things too, that might be, cracked tiles or some flooring repairs or siding or things like that, wood rot, things that you can go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and fix this. And then that way, whenever it's time to sell, well, you could get another inspector and they might find some other little things, but I'll know that I don't have any major
issues.
Yeah. Any major things that are going to really, create either a huge obstacle or kill the deal.
Yeah.
And so that just is really, really, I think, step number one in, in looking at what you want to do in getting ready to sell your home.
Yes. And I know one of the things, too, that everybody says is that you have to declutter.
Yes.
Regardless, home inspection or not, you have to declutter, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's a fabulous tip is getting ready to declutter your home. And, I think, the more that you have less clutter and things in your home, then the space feels bigger, which is important. Of course, it's going to show better in photos,
right?
Which is important. And then you're going to already also be halfway ready to pack up and leave.
Exactly,
because you're getting
you've already packed up the clutter, right?
Yeah, you're moving. Yeah, you're moving up. You're moving out certain things that you don't need anymore. So decluttering is an important part of that process, along with a pre-inspection and making sure that your lighting and that just all things are in working order and in good condition for the home. And so some of the things that we're going to talk about today will include what type of renovations that are going to add the most value for you. And when we come back in the next segment, we're going to get into some specifics of things that you can consider doing. Some of the things that you might not want to do as you're getting your home ready for the market as well. Or that just might not be as of major importance. So we want to help you to make those best decisions while you're doing that. And we're going to talk more about that in the next segment here on the From the Heart and Sold Real Estate Show on North Georgia Business RadioX. In our first segment, we were talking about preparing your home for the real estate market. I'm April Rooks with RE/MAX Center.
I'm Cindy Vandiver with Stockton Mortgage.
And we're here on the From the Heart and Sold Real Estate Show on North Georgia Business Radio X. So we're going to talk about making sure that you can recoup your money from what you've put into your home renovations and home repairs. Renovations may or may not add value to your home for when you're ready to sell it. So considering which ones add to your market value and then which ones are more of a selling feature is really important when you're making these decisions.
Yes, I agree. A lot of people, when they go in there, buy their house, they see what all they want to do, and then they're thinking, well, we'll sell in a few years, and that may not be the best decision, right?
Right. So we have 36% of sellers that they'll paint prior to putting their home on the market. And, that's often a good decision because, again, right now with most of our buyers, we find a lot of people really want a home to be move-in ready. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's a nice selling feature.
Yes, it is, but that doesn't necessarily add value, right?
Right.
It just helps the saleability.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So it's a great selling feature if you've, repainted, but you want to make sure that you're using neutral colors. Some colors are personal preferences, and many times as home buyers, it's your own home and you live there, and so you paint what you love, and that's great. But you want to make sure that you have colors that are more neutral, and especially find trending colors. So if you are like me and you love Pinterest is a beautiful tool. It's a beautiful thing.
It is. I get in trouble on Pinterest.
Yes, me too. I wanted to redo my fireplace look recently, and I go to Pinterest,
Right.
Or when I am choosing colors to paint or choosing different things, and I use Pinterest as kind of a guide for myself to do that. And so, you can find those trending things on Pinterest, or you can talk with a realtor because as a realtor, we're in homes all of the time, and we're working with buyers a lot, and we know what they're specifically looking for. But in general, picking, tans and beiges,
the earth tones.
Yes, earth tones, light grays. Light gray is a huge trending color right now, and it just it opens up a room as well, helps to bring more light to a room, and that's definitely helps with with selling it. Now, does
Yes.
it, like we said, doesn't increase the value, but it certainly will help being a selling feature for your home. Curb appeal is very, very important, and I think it's something that maybe we don't hear enough about.
I agree.
Yeah, because many times we're just so focused on the home inside.
We forget the outside,
Yes.
right?
And when people are looking at your home online and they see your home from exterior standpoint, that's what they see first. Mm-hmm. You're gonna see those photos first.
That's what drew me to my house when I bought it, was the exterior photos.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so the exterior is very important. That curb appeal that you have to your home, making sure that your landscaping is done well, and your grass is cut. Even just to the simplest things, but those are important. And then when people are, pulling into your drive to see the home, that first impression that they go, wow, or, this is really pretty. So, you can do small landscaping things that will make a big difference, making sure that certain things are painted on the exterior, that maybe you might not need a full paint job, but, there might be little touch-ups and things you can do.
Right.
That won't
Pressure washing the outside and the decks, right? Because all my decks turn green during the wintertime.
Yes, that's a huge thing. And so, making sure that you have all of the exterior that looks well and gives a great first presentation and first impression to home buyers.
Right.
So we'll go into the inside of, renovations and home repairs. These are what I get asked a lot. And I've gone into homes to help, my clients to say, hey, this is what I recommend. But one of the major things that will add to your value of your home and help you, and you'll get some of the most return from your investment, is your kitchen. The kitchen is the heart of the home, they say.
It is.
Yes. And so many times now, it can be men or women that, maybe they're the cooks and, that's something they enjoy, or they're family oriented and they have a lot of, a lot of kids or a lot of family that come around, and they want to have that kitchen that just really speaks to them, that flows well. And so, and an updated kitchen is important. So looking at your kitchen cabinets is important. If you've got older cabinets, certainly if you have a couple different options. You can replace them. Sometimes people that are very creative can go in and paint them and give them a whole new look with some paint.
Right.
And I've certainly, seen people just turn around a kitchen with a can of paint, and it's wonderful. And so, those are options that you can do. Your countertops, look for what's trending, or the style and the look of your kitchen, and put the countertops at work. I mean, granite's popular.
Right. Sometimes just a new set of countertops totally
Yes.
changes the look and the feel of the whole kitchen.
Right. But while granite is popular, granite's expensive. So if you're looking to sell, then you might want to find something that is, a little bit more affordable. And even the chop block countertops, they're beautiful.
Yes.
And they just give you kind of that earthen feel, and it's a trend as well. So those can be a little bit more affordable than looking at something like granite. So looking at those options, and then definitely with your flooring, if there's wear and tear on that, and if you have hardwood floors, you can simply get them sanded and refinished.
Right.
But if you need to put new tile or things like that, the kitchen is really going to be a focal point.
Mm-hmm. Don't they say the kitchen, the master bedroom, and the master bath, those are the 3 rooms that sell a house?
Yes, absolutely. And so that would be the next one, is looking at your your bathroom updates, your master bedroom, and even small touches. A lot of people now are doing certain things that they like the wood on the walls, giving it kind of that barn wood feel.
Yeah.
And that's popular. So looking at trends is important, little things that you can do that might not be very costly. But I think it's always important to remember that using too many personal touches might not help the sell of it, because again, it's a personal, a personal thing that you like, and maybe not everyone would like that.
Right. Right.
Someone asked me recently about the new farmhouse sinks. You've seen those?
I do. I like those.
Yes.
I do like those.
I like those. I don't know. I just think they're, for me, they're just more efficient. You have a bigger space. Maybe it's just more to pile the dishes in. I don't know.
Depends how big your family is, right? How many dishes you have.
And they asked, well, do you think that I should, do the farmhouse style? And, I said, well, if you don't like it, then certainly, keep a regular sink. But if you are thinking about selling it, well, then you might want to consider doing that, because it is very popular. And I think that, again, that's a classic thing. It just went away for a minute, but now it's back. And I mean, I think that that's a classic thing that I think that one will stick.
I think it will too.
So looking at your bathroom updates. So again, if you're looking at a home that is either maybe a traditional spec home that you purchase as a, first time home buyer, or, your average home, you're looking at, again, the cabinets, replacing and updating the cabinets, that countertop, and the sink area. You definitely would, want to update the floor to go with that. And then maybe, depending on your, the budget that you've set and what your goals are, tile showers are really popular now, and especially if you're in a master bath.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a ton of beautiful tile master bathrooms lately.
Yes. And they're beautiful and gorgeous, but they're also wonderful because we have the plastic, the older, kind of either the plastic tubs that they put into a lot of the homes,
right,
or just your standard, shower and tub. And so kind of giving it that little extra oomph, and that tile shower, though, will go a long way and help with your value. So again, we were talking about millennials. They prefer a move-in ready home. So considering these trends, hardwoods are really trending. People love the hardwoods. They're easy, and so we hope this has given you some insight into getting ready to put your home on the market this year. We definitely need some more inventory, and it will likely sell fast and go fast, because they are. Right now, we're going to go into our From the Heart moment, and we're going to just share briefly about the Gainesville Police Department. They did something really super recently, and they took Southern Baked Pie Company pies and donated slices of the pies to the Meals on Wheels route. And
aww,
yeah, I just thought that was so super sweet. Just a little bitty extra something
That's
to love
neat.
on our senior citizens.
Absolutely. They deserve it.
It's been a hard year and they needed some extra love. And
Absolutely.
who doesn't love a good pie?
I know.
So our takeaways from the show today were that we're preparing your home by getting a pre-inspection, set a budget on, what you want those renovations to be at, and just focus on the upgrades that are going to give you the most for your investment. Go follow us on Facebook and Instagram and stay connected with us online, and visit us on the FromTheHeartShow.com for our weekly podcast. And we look forward to having you with us on the next show on From the Heart and Sold Real Estate Show on North Georgia Business Radio X.
This podcast features mortgage banker Cindy Vandiver, NMLS 164102. That's Stockton Mortgage, NMLS 8259, Equal Housing Lender. Views and opinions expressed are those of Ms. Vandiver and do not necessarily reflect those of Stockton Mortgage. Ms. Vandiver's information should not be considered to be legal or tax advice.